Hello everyone, it's Darby of RiverBendSurvival again. Today I've got a project, and I'm going to have to admit I'm way behind the curve on this type of thing right here. What I've decided I wanted to do is I want to go to a top quilt sleeping system for my sleeping bag, and even when I sleep on the ground with a sleeping pad. I had heard of this before, but I had never done it, never really gave it any thought, until I was at the meetup and Jack Milholm showed me how he was using his sleeping bag that made it a lot more comfortable for him. Me being obsessive the way I am, when I got home, I've been thinking about it non-stop. Now, on this video I'm going to have to cut it up into little sections because I need to zoom in on some things and show some details. Long story short, I had two of these sleeping bags. They're French military surplus. I have no information on them at all. I'll give a close-up on the tag. Maybe somebody knows a lot more about them than I do. I can't tell you where to get them. I can't tell you who, what era they're from. I can't tell you any of that stuff. The only thing I can tell you is about 9 years ago, me and my best friend Sid were going on a hunting trip. And we stopped at an Army surplus store here in town, and they had two of these. And the guy wanted $5 a piece for them. We figured you couldn't go wrong, $5 a piece for a surplus sleeping bag. We discovered our error when we got to the campsite. When we hiked in and got there where we were going to be hunting and we climbed into these things way too small. I have no idea what's going on with the French military. Maybe they're all the size of 12-year-olds, or maybe their sleeping bags come in different sizes. Way too small. You could get it zipped. I could get it zipped. But when I got it zipped, my hands were stuck. Yeah, you just saw that. The camera fell off. Be right back with you. I'm going to leave that in there just to show that this kind of junk happens all the time. Anyway, these sleeping bags are way too small. But I love the design of it. And I'll get in here closer in a minute and I'll show you how this thing was put together. Anyway. Since they were too small, I gave one to my son. He used it for years and years while he was doing his scouting. He got his polar bear badge in this sleeping bag, a number of other things. My oldest daughter took the other one for a while when she'd go off to sleepovers and stuff, and when she got too old for that, my youngest daughter, Claire, who you've seen on the hiking videos, she has one of them, and she uses it up at the land or when she goes camping, those kind of things. So when I got home, I started watching videos. I started contacting people, just going over this as trying to find out all the information I could on how to make a top quilt. I keep coming back to this bag, but there were some shortcomings to it. So I got with my wife Amy, and I said, "Can you do this, this, and this?" She said, "Yep." So yesterday she spent the afternoon, part of the afternoon, doing the things I wanted to this sleeping bag, and I could not possibly be happier. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to zoom in some, and I'm going to show the things that she took off and how she did it. And then I'll get the tag and show you how the sleeping bag's put together. I think I have the perfect answer for a top quilt here. Let me get reset, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, here we are closed in a little bit, and I'll get some close-up shots in a few minutes, but what you have here is you have a liner that's pretty waterproof. I could waterproof it, make it better. And then it has a quilted interior. I'll show you a good shot of that here in a little bit. I love the system. It is so warm. I mean, it is. I personally have taken it down into the low 30s. My son has taken it lower than that and never had a problem. The only issue with this is if it gets into the 40s or 50s, it gets a little warm. And with the zip-up system before, it was almost impossible to get comfortable and open it up to vent it out. With it being used as a top quilt, no problem in the world for that. It had this rain cover on it right here that went over the top of the zipper. Runs the length of the zipper. It's a I don't know what I call it, 3/4 length zipper. It had this rain flap that went over the top. She removed that. It had this heavy-duty zipper in it that runs this full length here. She removed that. Now what I have is a perfectly open top part here to use the way that it needs to be used. I'm going to zoom in here. I'll cut so we don't get that wobbly crap going on, and show you what's inside here and show you why this bag is perfect for what I'm going to use it for. Hold on one second. Okay, here's the bottom where the bottom of the zipper was at the bottom half of the bag here. You can see the lines here where the zipper were taken out and the rain fly was taken out, a little flap. But if you look inside here, you will see that all the way around it's already hemmed and strengthened. It has this liner that goes all the way around, and what that is doing is attaching the outer shell to the quilted inner lining. It's that way all the way to the top. I don't have to do anything to this. I don't have to worry about this ripping, fraying, coming apart, hemming, anything. It's already hidden underneath. It was already there underneath the zipper and all the other stuff. You just couldn't see it when that stuff was there. Let me get up to the top part here. This bag had a hood on it that was also the stuff sack that the sleeping bag folded into. Let's cover that real quick here. She removed that for me. And I'll get a close-up detail of that here in just a second when I show you how this bag's put together. But because of the way this bag is made, she's going to hem. It doesn't really need it, but she'll do it this summer when summer vacation starts. She's a school teacher. But for now, it works just fine the way it is. The hood, because of the way it was put together, is still my storage sack to put the sleeping bag in. The cinch straps and all that and the hood are still perfectly good in one piece. That was a big bonus. I was not expecting that one. Now let me get you zoomed in here and I'll show you why I like how this sleeping bag's put together so good. Okay, here's the top of the bag, and the liner I was talking about that goes around the seam, you can see it goes all the way up to the top and circles the entire, every opening of the bag is covered with it. So there's no worry about anything fraying or coming apart. Nothing, no additional work needed on it. Now, right here is where the hood, you can't quite see it, let me move it back. Here we go. Right here is where the hood was attached. It's already double hemmed. So all she had to do was cut that edge off right there. There's no frays, nothing to come apart. And that's the liner that goes on the outside, the bivy sack part. Now when I pull this back, here is what is inside. It has a kind of a satin type, let me move it back up here. It has kind of a satin type feel almost on this side, on the outside. And then when you put it over, it's almost like a cottony feel in here, and it's quilted with padding. Extremely warm. I mean, just crazy warm. I got slidey back. Sorry about all this moving the camera. And then up here, if you wanted to, originally you could slide your sleeping pad in between the shell and the quilted part. I've never done that. Me and my wife talked about sewing this up here, but we decided it's been that way forever, so there's really no reason to do it. Let me get the camera turned around here one more time, well, for this, and get it zoomed in on what you can see of the patch that's on here, the label. Maybe somebody can put out more information about this thing and help people find it if somebody wants to try this, and then I'll show you the beauty of this system. Here's the only label that's inside of it. I will try here to zoom in a little bit and kind of scan around that, but it's going to be hard to do. Hopefully you can see it here. For those of you that happen not to be familiar with the top quilt system, here's the way it works. I have my sleeping pad down. The sleeping bag, in this case the sleeping bag is upside down. There's the openings on it. So I get on my sleeping pad or in my hammock, whatever the case may be. I hook my feet into the foot box at the bottom, lay down and cover up, and it's not tight, it's not constricting. I can pull as much of this around me as I want to, but all the warmth is kept in. As a matter of fact, I'm already getting hot. If I want to move over onto my side, I just move over onto my side. It's just like sleeping in a blanket at home, under a blanket at home. I love this system. I can just about guarantee this is going to be the new sleep system that I got to get out of this time. This is going to be the new sleep system that I use. If anybody has any information on this sleeping bag, please post it for the people that are looking for one or looking for something like it. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.